So I think this is an incredible story, and I want to start with you. So why am I pronouncing it right?
Selwyn.
Selwyn, sorry, Selwyn.
Okay.
So the series is based on a novel, and so I want to know, what was it about experiencing that novel that made you want to convert this into a series?
I love that the lead character of the novel is from the Caribbean, like I am, and specifically is from Barbados, like my family is. So sort of having that opportunity was just felt like once in a lifetime. I also love the fact that the novel at its core, as you see in the show, is about finding your way to flying, right? So you can take that metaphor to mean freedom, hope, the light at the end of the tunnel. There's an inspirational sort of core in its DNA that you just can't turn on as a writer. So that's what pulled me into the story.
Okay. And like you said, the premise of the story and everything that it's about, the timing actually seems kind of serendipitous for it to be coming out now. I know it was picked up in 2021. So, one, how does it feel for you to be picked up after a few years and now it's finally coming into fruition? And again, the timing of it, where it seems like everybody will be able to relate even more.
I think that timing all has a purpose. I mean, I think, through production, we've been through COVID, we've been through writer strike, we've been through, pickup and all that. And I think there's an amazing timing, to this all. I feel like this is going to be such a breath of fresh air, allowing people to dream, in a time that, we want to escape and dream. And I think this is a great time for this piece to come out.
Yes. And Kimberly, as an author yourself, was there anything in the story that you felt like you wanted to tweak? I mean, when we bring someone else in, we want another set of eyes, right? So tell me about your influence on being a part of this series.
So my influence right off the bat, after reading this book, you're like, during this time, no one was dreaming. No one was dreaming. These enslaved, families, they weren't dreaming. But you had this little boy who dared to dream and dream on a really big scale. And so, for me, I wanted to really see the scope and how this was going to, be done. And after reading a couple of these episodes, I was totally hooked. And so, just such an honor to be part of this amazing project.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And speaking of dreams, we all have them, right? And some of us are fortunate and enough to be able to experience living through those dreams. To your career so far, what is a dream that you have accomplished? Kimberly, I'll start with you.
A dream that I've accomplished during my career, I would say, are projects, something like Washington Black, for example, a show that I can sit down and watch with my children, my two boys, and it inspires them to see about dreaming and to really kind of take dreaming to a next level the same way, Wash did. So for me, this is definitely a highlight of my career.
That's awesome. And Selwyn, what about you?
It's not going to be a very different answer. A show like this is once a something. You can insert what you will. And, for me, I live in a constant state of amazement that we are where we are because I remember, for me, when I'm asked to adapt a book, when I start reading it, I start like writing in my head, like at the same time. So I can't escape the memory of being home in the Caribbean, reading this novel and saying, okay, I would do this, I would do that, I would do this, I would do that. And now it's here. That is just sort of like surreal and fantastic. So I'm very grateful and humbled about that.
Well, yes, and congratulations for that. Again, coming into fruition now. Now, Sterling K. Brown is in this series, and he was also a producer in the series. So, tell me what it was like working with him, also behind the scenes, like on the producer side. We see him in front of the screen a lot. What was it like having his input behind the scenes?
Sterling is just amazing as producer. He was on his journey from the beginning. So it was myself and Sterling on the phone with Esi very early on, trying to convince her why we would be safe, we'd be safe, parents of her child or parents, I guess, of this baby of hers. It was Sterling who was with me, in the conference rooms at Disney pitching the show, who was there and we were figuring out sort of the look and feel to it, who was on set, as you said, not just in his capacity as an actor, but just his capacity as an amazing human being and putting his arms around, especially the young cast, and just being like so much of an emotional North Star for all of us. So he's just been incredible. He really is the guy that you think he is. He really is that guy.
That's awesome to hear because it's not always the case in Hollywood. Yeah, very quickly, I want you guys to let me know what you hope viewers take away from watching this series.
That all of us have some wings inside of us that we can fly with.